Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They go again with Collins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 23 yards on the play. Here's a first down run with Collins. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s. But remember, that was the Baltimore Colts, who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens, who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. Flacco to throw here on third down. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have back on their heels.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
different story.
long night.
Get set, get set.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Carr. It's caught. Nelson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nelson's first catch. Good for a first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
808. Right one.
They go play action here on first down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Able to power through.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Past the 20. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. First down, the run with Lynch. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football.
Go, go. Get set, get set.
Carr to throw on second down. And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on 2nd. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing his car on third down. Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy that can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He got 29 yards that time. Throwing here on first down. Flacco. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Flacco here on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's McKenzie. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Going left side here, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw on second down. Carr connects it to Roberts, right side. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They run with Collins. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Second and 10. Flacco once more. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Passing play. Flacco throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Carr. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And the Colts have scored again to widen their lead even further. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Flush to his right, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. That one was intended for John Brown, and it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Collins, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 20. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets around him, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it here with Logan. He's to the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here's Flacco. And his throw is incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage. Especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Bust through the tackle, and he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Big spread.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Seth Roberts, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many won't.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Second down, Flacco now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not. Not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On 2nd down, Collins. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2. Remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And what is going on here? I've got third down. Screen shows third down, but they've got the punt team out there. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, 7:34. Yo, Chief.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 48 yards. By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And the Giants have scored to extend their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Carr. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Express.
Lynch running the counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on 2nd down. Carr. Roberts got him. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he should. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Carr. And he finds Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Lynch. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Carr now on 3rd and goal. That's complete. Right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, you know me pretty well now. You know what I want to do after that completed pass. 4th down by 3. What do I want to do here?
Well, you want to go for it. You might be tempted. I think they need to kick it.
Yeah, someone might have to overrule me. Get the kicker out there, tie this game up.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. Drops it underneath for Collins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, Flacco finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Flacco from the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. As as his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens have broken the tie. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Carr gives to Lynch on the draw. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
694.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. This is Collins on the handoff. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Oh, design run for the wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, and that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Go Chiefs.
From midfield, here's Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Terrell Suggs in there for a milestone sack as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. He's got it at the 15. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
All right, get set, fellas.
Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
694. 734. 734. 734. 694.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. And that's It's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. Griffin down to a knee, and that should be the final act in this game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams,